And then we were also on MSC. That's a nice way to put it, isn't it? Welcome back to the first Sunday Sofatime of 2020. I'm Morgan, and today we're going to be talking about what I'm expecting on my very first Carnival cruise. Welcome to 2020, everybody. Welcome back here in front of the red sofa. I would like to be sitting here saying I've got all these new things planned and all these exciting things coming up, but those exciting things have already been mentioned several weeks ago, and one of them, as I'm talking about in this video, is that I will be cruising for the first time on Carnival cruises. So I have cruised on many Royal Caribbean ships, I've cruised on many Norwegian Cruise Line ships, I have cruised on a few MSC ships, and also on one AIDA ship, but there are two cruise lines in like when you look at like a list of the most popular mainstream cruise lines, there are two that are missing from there. One is Carnival and one is Disney. And so the week, as you are watching this right now, I am currently on the Disney Sunrise, and next week I will be on the Disney Dream. So that's what's going on with my life right now. And actually, as I'm recording this, it's still 2019. It's December 28th at this moment. So just to give you guys a little perspective of like when this is actually happening as opposed to when it's going online. And there's the first tangent for ya. So because I'm going to be on the ship, and because I've only ever been on one ship where the internet was good enough that I could actually upload a video. That was the Harmony of the Seas, by the way. I wanted to make a Sunday Sofatime in advance, and what I want to talk about is, like I said, what I'm imagining the Carnival cruise is going to be like. This was actually a video that somebody requested, so thanks for that idea. I don't remember who it was that requested it, but I know that I read it. So let's break it down into categories. If I'm gonna talk about the passengers, the cabin, the entertainment, and the food, how does that sound? Starting with the passengers. This is something that a lot of people have mentioned. A lot of people that comment on cruising on Carnival cruises, or that have cruised on Carnival cruises, say that the crowd that Carnival tends to attract is a more like lighthearted party crowd, to put it nicely. And especially because this is going to be a short cruise leaving from Florida, I'm assuming there are going to be a lot of party people on board. Now, you know, I really don't have anything against party people, you know, as long as I know, you know, I've kind of like set myself up to expect that it's going to be like that. I think I'll be cool with that if there's a lot of, you know, loudness and energy, let's say. You know, I know that it's not going to be like in a relaxing, you know, quiet kind of cruise. It's just not that kind of ship. If I was looking for or if you're looking for something like that, you would be much better off cruising with like Celebrity Cruises, or maybe Hapag-Lloyd, or maybe Cunard, but not with Carnival cruises. So I am perfectly ready to experience that. And who knows, maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe it won't be a lot of drunk people at the pool deck singing along with the music. Maybe it won't be that kind of atmosphere at all. I will let you know when I get back. I'll have to compare, you know what I mean? Like watch this video again and then compare what it was I say in this video to how I feel when I get back. That's a good idea. So that's what I'm expecting from the other passengers. I think the next thing that I said I wanted to talk about was it's either the cabin, the entertainment, and the food, right? So the cabin. Well, as so many of you have done, I'm sure, and many of you have done it here on my channel, that is, I have looked at videos of the cabins on the Carnival Sunrise, formerly the Carnival Triumph. I've looked at several videos of those online already, so I basically know exactly what our cabin is going to look like. And you know, it's a basic balcony cabin. It's not any kind of like upgraded or special category. One thing that I already know is going to be a little bit different is, if I remember correctly, I've never been on a cruise ship, or I've never been in a cruise ship cabin where the balcony hasn't been a sliding door, you know, like where the whole thing, you can slide it open and closed. The balcony on the Carnival Sunrise has you know, like a door, like a swinging door. So, you know, you like open it like this and close it like that. And the balcony window isn't, you know, like from floor to ceiling. And that's weird to me. Every other ship I've been on with a balcony, or every other balcony cabin I've been in, the window to the balcony has been floor to ceiling, and it's been a sliding glass door. And I mean, even the virtual balcony I had on the Harmony of the Seas, that was also floor to ceiling. So that's just something that kind of, it's a weird design trait to me, but it's not as weird as the bathrooms on the Norwegian Epic, so cool with that. Also, since we're talking about the bathrooms now, I know from watching other people's videos that this will have a Morgan approved bathroom door, so thumbs up for that. As far as like the interior design of the cabin, I think, you know, the ship has just gone through, or recently gone through, a very large renovation, so I know that it's all new and fancy, but I'm really looking forward to checking it out and also making a video of it for you as well. So keep checking back. That will be coming here sometime soon on this channel. All right, let's move on to the entertainment. I've talked about this before, but both Marcus and I, we both work in the live entertainment industry. We've worked on some of the big, most successful musicals in the world, and we, you know, have a sort, we're kind of spoiled, I guess. Spoiled and snobby in a way. You know, we're used to seeing a very high level of live entertainment, and we've seen some fantastic shows on Royal Caribbean, fantastic shows on NCL, fantastic shows on AIDA, and then we were also on MSC. That's a nice way to put it, isn't it? The Cirque du Soleil shows that we saw on MSC were fantastic, but the normal production shows that we saw were really not so good, or, you know, just not at the same level as NCL and Royal Caribbean. And this is also something that I'm really looking forward to on the Disney ship, because I know that the Disney live shows are amazing. So I'm expecting sort of like, I don't know, run-of-the-mill quality live musical reviews on Carnival. I feel like that's something that not a lot of people have really talked about, and I know they don't partner with Cirque du Soleil like MSC does now. They don't have name brand musicals like NCL and like Royal Caribbean do. So I'm assuming the shows are going to be, you know, like the traditional sort of, in a way, old school, like themed musical shows, you know, like a country music show or like the best hits of the 80s show, you know, things like that. And we will definitely go and check them out, and I will definitely be telling you what they were like when we're done. But that is what I'm expecting now. And now I want to talk a little bit about the food and what I'm expecting about that. But before I do that, please forgive me for putting a little ad right here. Did you see one? What was it about? I forgot to ask that a couple weeks now, but it's always interesting to me to hear what you guys' ads are about when you're watching my videos. All right, if you've been around here a while, you know that Marcus and I are, let's say we're picky eaters, but we have like our habits. And we really do not prefer to eat in the main dining room on cruise ships for reasons I've talked about so many times. However, for you and for the videos, we will be going to the main dining room on Carnival at least once. And most of the time, we always just go to the buffet restaurant because we like to try different things. We don't like to be, or for us it seems like such a luxury to be able to like try different things and not have to sit down to decide, all right, for dinner I am just having this one thing. You know what I mean? That's like something we really enjoy about being on a cruise, whereas I know other people are exactly the other way around, that they enjoy having the feeling that they're going to a restaurant and being served at a table and opening a menu. And, you know, we enjoy that too, but I guess if there's a buffet option, that's just more what we like. That doesn't make one better or worse, it's just, you know, how we are. I have to be honest and say I have never really heard any spectacular reviews about the main dining room on Carnival or the buffet. However, so many people have been writing me to tell me to eat at the Mexican restaurant and at Guy Fieri's burger place. And actually, I got like 20 people sent me a picture of, they have a breakfast sandwich with my name. It's called Morgan's Breakfast or something like that. And, you know, it would have been nice if they would have asked me about that, and I wouldn't mind, you know, getting just, you know, a couple dollars in residuals for that whole, you know, advertising thing. I'm just kidding. I don't know what Morgan they're talking about, but if anybody does, let me know. So I'm expecting like less than average quality and selection of food at the buffet and in the main dining room. I'm expecting fantastic burgers and nachos in the other dining venues, and we're only on the ship for 4 nights, and I don't think that we're going to have the time, or let's say take the time, to visit one of the other like upcharge restaurants. I definitely want to do a room service video. That's a tradition that I've really enjoyed doing for you on like my last 5 or 6 cruises, I think. So be sure to stay tuned for that, and that will be a fun thing to compare as well, because like I said, leaving Carnival on one day and getting on the Disney ship on that day, I'm going to be doing so many comparisons, because it's going to be like fresh in my head, comparing cabin to cabin, entertainment to entertainment, food to food, room service to room service, stuff like that. So that's something that, yeah, I'm really looking forward to just experiencing. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be pleasantly surprised by a lot of stuff on Carnival, just because the overwhelming response about Carnival that I've gotten from most of you is that if you've cruised, if you start your like cruising life on Royal Caribbean, or start your cruising life on Celebrity, or start your cruising life on NCL, that usually you're disappointed by Carnival. Whereas I know there are other people who've only cruised with Carnival and have a fantastic time, and it's like exactly perfect for them. You know, it's all a matter of preference. You know what I mean? So it'll just be cool to experience it now for myself in just like 4 days. We'll be on the ship. Oh my gosh, 4 days. So much to do until then. But now comes the time on Sunday Sofa Time where I comment on your comments live on air. Alright, because the latest Sunday Sofa Time is still in my computer now and it's not online yet, it will be going online tomorrow, I obviously can't comment on the comments from that video. So I'm just going to go through my YouTube Creator app here and comment on random comments that have come up in the last few days. For example, Sin City Madman writes on my video of Moderno Churrascaria on Norwegian Cruise Lines, speaking of food and upcharge restaurants and huge chunks of meat, which I know we weren't talking about, but whatever. Sin City Madman writes, I'm going on an NCL trip in a couple of weeks. I'm thinking of trying the Moderno Brazilian place. Does anybody know if it's relatable in quality to a Texas de Brazil or Fogo de Chao? I don't want to pay $50 per person unless it's top notch. Thanks. Well, 2 things, Sin City Madman. I'm the wrong person to ask about that because, one, if you watch the video, you'll see that I don't eat meat. I went there so Marcus could have some meat. So I'm the wrong person to ask about that. And the other thing is I've never been to or heard of Texas de Brazil or Fogo de Chao. So maybe somebody else who's watching this knows more about that. And then you can go to my Moderno Churrascaria Norwegian Cruise Line video. It's Tropical Getaway Day 6, actually. So from our, that was from our getaway cruise. Or comment in this video below and maybe Sin City Madman will see it too. Alright, this one is from a former Sunday Sofa Time where I talk about what it's like to travel solo, which I've done quite a few times, which I really enjoy doing. Oh, this is a somewhat longer one, but I'm going to read it anyways. It's from Jan or Jan May. Jan or Jan writes, I watched this because in March 2020 I'm booked on the Escape as a solo, and it will be my first ever cruise. Here's a few solo traveling perks I've found in my travels, mostly to Vegas. Walking through gauntlets of hucksters on the street, I'm invisible. They target couples mostly. I only get stripper cards. Well, yeah, there's that. In theaters, I can always find a seat exactly where I want, even if I come in last minute. People tend to leave a single seat between each group. Very true. On airlines, I'm often asked if I want to move to the exit row, which I like because of the better legroom, but without paying extra. I fly mostly discount airlines, and they charge for every inch of room. You know, that's interesting because I've never been asked to move to an exit row on my solo flights, and I've flown a lot solo. I feel like I always end up in the middle, and I hate it. At buffets with a lineup, I get called up and seated right away. And here's one. Norwegian's free at sea package for excursions is $50 per port per stateroom. I'm not sharing that, so I've booked 4 at a total cost to me of $19. I I don't understand how that works, but interesting. And if that worked out for you, then that's great. Oh, and thank you for the packing for a week-long cruise with just a carry-on. That's what I'm gonna do. Who do I need to dress up for? Great things, great advice, and I agree with you on these things, and I can totally imagine that you enjoy those as well as a solo traveler. For me, the coolest thing about traveling solo is just doing whatever the heck I want all day long and not having to worry about somebody else like waiting for me or being disappointed because I don't want to do something. Just waking up and doing whatever I want all day long. That is one thing that I really love about traveling solo. Johnny Windjammer writes on my solo balcony cabin Anthem of the Seas video, why wouldn't this be considered prejudice against solo travelers? You know, in a way it kind of is. Charging more for one person, what a bunch of BS. I've always wondered why it's like that, so I've read some ridiculous comments on here guessing why it's like that. It's all about the mighty dollar. They would throw 25 people in a room if anyone would do it. I've never been a fan of cruises because of being charged double. It doesn't make sense. One person equals less food, less alcohol, less power consumption, less water consumption, etc. So in a non-corporate ran world, the pricing is ass backwards. And yeah, it is that way. It is that way. Very few cruise lines have special deals that are set up for just solo travelers. NCL is definitely one of them. And otherwise, if you're cruising solo and staying in a normal cabin, you're going to be paying a huge extra fee. And that's what Johnny is talking about here. All right, everybody. If you want to know like what's going on with me on the ship right now, then be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. That's where I post pictures and little stories from like where I am at this very moment. I also have Twitter, but I really don't do Twitter anymore. I feel like all people use Twitter for nowadays is to complain about politics, and my channel is about fun and travel and things like that, and so Twitter's kind of over for me. But you can still follow me there if you want to. And I can't wait to get back from the cruise, or the cruises, and start showing you guys everything that I'm experiencing like right now. Have a great 2020 and see you soon.